Well, we've been maple syruping here in Skowhegan for about 5 years, and we learned a few things, in the process here. We always boiled before that, but not with an evaporator and things like that. Well, first of all, every year is different. We're gonna go plug in some more blues here.
Plug in the blues.
Let's plug in the blues.
I think it's time to maximize.
Maximize. Do we need the reel? I don't think so. I don't know if we need the reel.
I don't think we need the reel, but we need the drill, we need the hammer. Take some extra drops if we need it.
Yes. I got a hammer. I think we got everything. What?
The ladder.
Oh, ladder right in here. Yes, we are going to need the ladder.
The ladder.
For some ladder tapas. Here it is. I'll get the ladder. Where are the boys when we want them? They're out there romping around. Well, this sugar house is a plan that comes from Vermont. It was a Vermont sugar house, and so we adapted the plan for a smaller sugar house, a little bit thinner and narrower and stuff. It had to be brought up. From Skowhegan on a trailer, and we kind of thought about what would make sense for this place and this lot. And this sugar house is about 12 feet wide, because that's what we could move, and about, well, now it's over 28 feet long. It's probably 40-something feet long with the woodshed. So but those were all little add-ons. So we had to make sure that it would be something that was portable and would move up here. And we looked around for a spot for the sugar house, and then we realized, well, it's pretty obvious. Put it right where this creek comes down, and then everything will flow down to here. So it's right down on the lower corner of the lot, and we got a permit and everything to build it right here. It was pretty much the only spot that we could have built it at, and it's not pretty close to the road and all, and so it turned out to be the perfect spot because all the tubing comes down the hill like a river right down to this spot. And so I just come up here usually after school and see if there's any sap in the bucket and in the tank, and if there's sap in the tank, then I just start boiling. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 taps on this line. Supposed to have around 10 on each blue line. So this is good. The blue lines, we don't have to collect it. It comes to the sugar house by itself. So it just drools right down. And then the black line down below, it's sort of the main highway. The blue lines are sort of the little local roads, and the black lines are the interstates, the big highway that comes down from the top of the hill. We can go up and put up another piece of tubing after this if you want to. Well, now we're ready for some tapping.
The ladder is in place.
You guys want to drill some taps too?
You want to?
Well, go up. I made a new trail, Dylan.
You did?
Yeah. Here, we'll take these with us. Living fast forward, hillbilly rock star out of control. All right. Yes? You can use one of them. This syrup comes from the first drop of sap starts 1,600 feet up the hill, flows down through tubing, runs out, comes into the tank, out into the evaporator, gets boiled with wood that we collect at the, on the woodlot here, and comes out as syrup. So you got a direct connection to where some percentage of your food is coming from. The other thing is, we cut wood for our home fires to keep our houses warm. So it's a useful little farm. We found that we've had some maple mentors, we call them, around here. Some of the bigger guys, the bigger sugar houses, have helped us out enormously, and we feel like you should learn from the pros. You should learn how they do things. We're not aspiring to become big or anything, but we have learned an awful lot of good ways of doing things, so that you're learning how to do things the way that they're done now instead of how they were done 30 or 40 years ago.
Air pressure again.
Yes. Did you actually hear it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
Should we go to the two on the road?
Yeah, we should.
Forward. This Some wind happening. I think the wind is going to be good for the sap. And the fact that it's nice and clear today means it'll be cold tonight, so then the sap will run tomorrow. We hope. Sap is really pouring in right now. This is about as good as it gets. You can see it's a steady pour. We'd like to see that. We tapped a bunch more trees, and it looks to me like we're going to be getting some sap very soon. We're going to have to boil tomorrow night. This holds about 150 gallons, and the tank below us holds another 100 gallons. And then we have an emergency tank to hold 50 gallons. Then we have another tank that'll hold 30 gallons. And then sometimes we get so we fill every single bucket and tank we can find. So we probably have 350, 400 gallons of storage. But we might need every bit of it in the next couple of weeks. And what's been happening is every night, the temperature goes below freezing, all the little branches and stuff freeze. And maple trees are not like other trees. They can hold frozen sort of sap and also air in the outermost branches. And what happens is when they freeze, it creates a kind of a suction. And then the next day when it gets warm again, all the sap flows up from the bottom of the tree, and it's a sugary solution, comes out to try to get to the ends of those branches and start leaves going. So it's a process that can lift the sap 80 feet in the air. Oh my gosh, this is good. I knew it was pouring in the tank there, so I thought there was probably a lot out here. Pretty good. Oops. Now that's going to fill the tank up. Look at that. Just out of 4 or 5 trees here, we've gotten, well, I'd say 3-4 gallons. So that's good. That's about the best we've ever done right from this little spot here. It's filling up. I think we're gonna, all of it, when we collect everything today, we're probably gonna get 10 or 15 gallons. Hear the music? Right after you collect the sap, you hear these little bongs, and they all make a little slightly different bonging noise. It's really neat. Further on, if we collect a lot of them all in one area, we'll see if they make the music of the sugarbush. But that's what you want to hear. It's about a drop a second. So 1 1,000, 2 1,000. So perfect time. It's about as fast as it ever drips right there. Yard and walk back. What the heck? Well, let's see here. You Smonermations. Well, this is a sustainable operation. This sugar house basically operates on sunlight and water that comes in on the land right here, and the sap itself moves by gravity. The sap is cooked with the wood that comes off of the land, and the whole thing is kind of a self-sustaining, sustainable operation. Go around the left of John's truck. Other side. Not going hog wild. I'll be watching. Don't fool around like that even.
Iver, I know the rules.
All right. Kiddos are going to collect. I'm going to keep a close eye on them because 3 boys, what did they say? 1 boy is half a man. 2 boys is like a quarter, and 3 boys is like no man at all. So they seem like they're doing all right now, though. Maple syruping is an interesting hobby, avocation. It's a kind of a way, you think about it, very little of your life nowadays is connected to land. Very little, it's very hard to tell where your subsistence comes from, where you get your food, your heat, things like that. This is kind of grounds you right directly to where things are coming from. It is the first product that you can really get out of the land around here. This is the first and earliest product you know traditionally a farm would start off with sugaring, and it really helps out the economy. This is a run of all runs. Oh my God. 10 gallons on this side alone.
Wow.
Well, it's pouring in.
We'll make a couple of gallons for sure.
Right now we're filling the evaporator, and it's surprising to us how much sap you need to fill this thing. This is way more than our other evaporator. Way bigger. We're gonna have a big boil tomorrow. Probably gonna boil all day tomorrow, starting at 9. Right now I am about to feed the evaporator. And this thing uses a lot more wood than our old evaporator, but it also boils stuff twice as fast, so we figure it has the same efficiency.
Thinking one time ago, well, you know, you can sell the gym for $35, so wonder what the inside track is. Oh, well, I probably won't like that.
She's really starting to spit out some steam now. We didn't want to get it going too much because we hadn't defrosted the line yet, but now we finally have a little bit of in-feed, so we figure now we can feed it. It uses about a half of a cart here just to fill it the first time. So it's if you had a wood stove like this at home, you'd be out of wood by about the middle of December. And you can see the pans up top here are all this steam is coming off of boiling maple syrup. And somebody said it's like having 500 pots boiling all at one time. Something like that, 300 to 500 pots boiling, because the back pans are shaped fluted. They're called flues, and they go down about 9 inches into the firebox. So if you spread this pan out, this pan would take up the whole width of the sugar house here. Should we pop the top? You want us to?
Yeah, let's open it up.
Open slowly because it's got to come down slow here.
Yeah.
Ready? Yep. Tweak it. Let her down slow. Oh, not quite, like a little slower maybe. All right, that's okay.
Nice touch of the light.
Yeah, that was good. That was
That's all right.
beautiful.
Sorry, Jeff. Now ready? Here, this one's
Yeah.
gonna tweak. Okay, let her down slow. Okay, let her down slow. There you go. Perfect. Okay.
I like that one. We had more communication on that one.
Sorry for that. We've also found that you can burn anything in the evaporator. I had a friend, Jeff, who brought over a chair, a cracked chair that he found in the dump, and he thought it would be a great chair. Well, the next time he came by and he asked, "Where is that chair?" And at that moment, I was pushing the last piece of that chair into the evaporator. When this thermometer here shows that we're 7 degrees above the boiling point of water, we are ready to pour off. And when we pour off, we pour it, and it goes down through a filter. And this is a filter here. We put cloth filters and paper filters on it. And then it pours out, and it comes out down here all filtered. Then we pick it up, and we put it on the stove, and we finish off on the stove. You have to get it to a certain consistency. It has to get to, they call it 66 bricks, or a certain thickness. When it gets hot enough here, I'm going to pour it into the hydrometer here. And when this hydrometer floats, right here at this red line right here, says hot test 211 Fahrenheit. When it floats right here at that red line, then we know it's thick enough for bottling. We pour it into bottles, but also, before we do that, we test. How dark is it? And we try to make sure that the evaporator is doing as much work as possible, because over here we have to pay Central Maine Power for the electricity and, you know, Constellation Energy. And we'd rather use as much of our energy, our wood, as possible. From where I lingered in a lull in March, outside the sugar house one night for choice, I called the fireman with a careful voice, and bid him leave the pan and stoke the arch. "O fireman, give the fire another stoke, and send more sparks up the chimney with the smoke." I thought a few might tangle, as they did, among bare maple boughs, and in the rare hill atmosphere not cease to glow. And so be added to the moon up there. The moon, though slight, was moon enough to show on every tree a bucket with a lid, and on the black ground a bearskin rug of snow. The sparks made no attempt to be the moon. They were content to figure in the trees, as Leo, Orion, and the Pleiades. And that was what the boughs were full of soon.